you need to work on your self-esteem. You definitely have to work on it, because if you don't, it will be too much that even when you know someone is doing what is wrong to you, you still give excuses for that. Hello everybody, how are you doing? You're welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Mary Makinde. And on this channel I talk about personal development, faith and lifestyle. So let's get the ball rolling. Boom. Yes, if you're a returning subscriber, you're welcome once again, and if you are just listening to me for the first time, you're highly welcome, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. So in today's video I'm going to be talking about why I was always lonely. Okay, so for you to have a clearer understanding of this topic, I would like you to do a background check. And what I mean by that is go back to some of my previous videos, especially the one I talked about my journey to personal development and also our experience low self-esteem. That's why you have the fuller understanding of why I'm talking about this particular topic, which is why I was always lonely. So loneliness was a natural phenomenon. Like, it was so natural, it was a mundane thing to me because I experienced it almost all my life. Like, I'm talking about the past now, like, okay, so to the point where I had clarity of purpose and to that point of development, right? But initially, when I was suffering from low self-esteem and the like, I used to be very lonely. And I'm doing this because of those people who might still, those people who might be feeling lonely, those people who feel alone, who feel nobody loves them, those people who feel that they are not enough, those people who want to give up on life. I have been there before, and I know the repercussion of being in that shoe, and that is why I'm doing this. I'm doing this specifically for you. If you sometimes feel depressed, feel lonely, feel rejected, then this video is for you. And if that is not your situation, I'm very sure there will be one or two persons around you. And the funniest part is some of these people don't even speak up. So I'm very sure there are definitely people like that around you. The best you could do for this ones is get the link of this video and share your status, share on your social media platforms, share to your friends' DMs, because you don't know who is actually going through loneliness and depression at such a time like this. Many people who are depressed find it difficult to come out to talk about the struggles they're experiencing. So that is why I'm doing this video, to help as many as possible who feel lonely. Now let's talk about what are the causes. Why did I used to feel lonely? What are the things that caused the feeling of loneliness? Now, the first thing I'm going to associate loneliness to is low self-esteem. Obviously, everything that has to do with all this self-limiting beliefs, ideologies, and challenges that we go through are mostly associated with low self-esteem. So low self-esteem is the first thing I'm going to mention. So I used to suffer from low self-esteem, and I'm not going to emphasize on that in this video, like I said, because I've done a lot of videos on that already. So go back to those videos and you have a clearer understanding of where I'm coming from. Now, because of low self-esteem, I felt less of myself. I felt like I was not enough. I felt like others were better than myself. I always compared myself to others, and I was not anyway matching to either their energy, to their stature, to their position, to whatever it is. So I just felt like, oh, okay, so this is it, I'm not enough. So that low self-esteem actually affected me. And when I see friends, right, when I see people rather, like people like colleagues, like classmates, that I can actually, I'm supposed to mingle with, in my head I want to, but again I'm thinking, what if they insult me? What if they raise a topic and I'm unable to respond? Especially those cliques that we considered to be the brilliant ones, right? So anytime they are gathered, I found it difficult to be in their midst, right? Because I felt like I had nothing intelligent enough to contribute, in their conversation. Thinking back at those things, at those days, right, I just thank God for the growth I've experienced and where I am presently and where He's taking me to. But trust me, a lot of persons are still in this category, and you listening to me might also be in this category. See, and I know this is actually a challenge that I naturally will not come outside to talk about, but because I understand that God has helped me to overcome it, but so many people are still in that. That's the major reasons why I am actually doing this video, to help you also get free like myself. So low self-esteem actually eats me up so much because I felt like I was less of myself. I felt like other people were better than me, and it continued like that for a very, very long time. A very, very long time. And because of that, I was always conscious of what I said, because I felt like probably when I say anything, it's going to be less of what people expect me to say. Sometimes when I'm in class, back then as a teenager, when I was in school, secondary school precisely, or even when I was in the university, and I'm being asked a question, or probably the question is being asked generally, I will not respond to it, because I will just be like, this thing that is coming to my mind now as the response might be trash. So that was one reason why I was lonely. I was disassociating myself from people. I didn't want any embarrassment, right? Because I felt like I didn't have the value to give out to people, to dish out, or to contribute to life. Another reason why I was always lonely, when I was much younger, mostly when I'm at home, I used to lock myself up in the room. In fact, most of the time I spend it at home, and when I'm in school, most of the time I spend it in my classroom, quietly seated in my seat and all. So I was less expressive. I was not even expressive at all. Like, you could count my words, not because I don't have what to say, but because I'm scared and I don't want anybody to laugh at me. I don't want anybody to feel like I'm saying trash. I already concluded that I'm not good enough, so I don't need any further reminder from anybody, to tell me that, Mary, shut up, you're saying rubbish. If anybody tells me something, it gets so much to me, and for days I will go depressed again. Like, I will start the whole process of depression all over again, and I battled all of this alone. And unfortunately, unlike now, this generation, they are really enjoying, especially the Gen Zs, the Gen Alpha, right? They are really enjoying because, in our own generation, most people, which teacher has your time, or your parents are, they are focused on making money and taking care of the family. Nobody really has that time to be saying, this child is always alone, let's ask questions. Why are you always alone? Nobody cares, nobody sends you. This generation, they are now more privileged, because the awareness of things like depression, awareness of things like self-esteem, personal discovery is now more now. Unlike our time, I did not even hear anything like that. I did not even know what I was going through was also self-esteem. Nobody cared to ask me. That's never happened before that maybe someone will say, Mary, I noticed you are doing like you're not improving. I noticed you are always lonely. Nobody ever asked me such question, right? So I kept on sinking. I kept on sinking into the depression, and every word mattered to me, even to the slightest. And now I understand, based on my personality trait, that is also associated with being a melancholic. Melancholic, they think deeply, and sometimes they overdo it, that they begin to think overboard, and they overprocess things, they overthink. So I was like that. So if you tell me, are you stupid? Oh goodness, I will begin to interpret that word stupid in 101 ways possible, right? And because of I don't like these things, but I cannot tell you I don't like it, because I feel like if I tell you, you might bully me, you might ride on me, and I can't fight back, right? So it was really bad that I would rather just, I could not even express when I'm hungry, I could not even express when I'm hot, I could not even express when I'm depressed. I feel the pain alone and I heal alone. But did I really heal? My healing did not come until when I started my intentional journey to personal development. So this continued for a very, very long time, and it persisted. So I was avoiding people because I don't want issues. I don't want anybody to laugh at me. I don't want anybody to say, you, why are your eyeballs big? Why are you this skinny? Especially people that, unfortunately, we are in an environment where we have a lot of insensitive people that just talk anyhow, and they feel like, oh, okay, after all, I'm saying the truth, right? I can say anything I want to say. See, if you belong to that category that feel like I'm team blunt lady or blunt guy, I can say things anyhow. I'll say things the way they are. So far, I am not telling lies. Excuse you. There is no iota of wisdom in that. If there's anything you're saying that might affect the emotions of the person you are transferring that communication to, then obviously it makes no sense dishing out in such manner. Even the scripture says that let your mouth be seasoned with salt. Tongue is like a poison, and if you use it to harm another person, that's wickedness. That's an act of wickedness, and I'm very sure you would not intentionally want to be wicked to another person. But if you have the heart of wickedness, you need Jesus Christ in your life. Okay, so that was how it was for me. And so basically, first thing was low self-esteem, and in alignment with that was being my shells. I would just be alone, so I would just avoid everybody because I don't know how to fight. I can't fight. I'm a lover of peace, but it was killing me, right? Because I could not express myself. Lack of trust. I didn't trust anybody. I felt like everybody is around me to hurt me, and because like I said, I can't defend myself when anyone throws words at me, anyone takes things from me. Those are the experiences of bullying I experienced. People would take what belongs to me. I can't do anything. I can't fight back because I don't even know how to fight, right? I was too hurt deeply that any other thing externally didn't matter. So I felt like I was the problem at all times. So even when people want to take advantage of me, when they want to take what belongs to me, I can't fight back, right? And that's one of the reasons why you need to work on your self-esteem. You definitely have to work on it, because if you don't, it will be too much that even when someone is doing what is wrong to you, you still give excuses for that. For instance, if you are working with a boss that is in a working space, in an environment that is toxic, why are you still there? You don't have any business being there, because what is happening is that it is damaging your self-esteem, and it is extremely dangerous. Before you know what happened, you see, there are some people that, like for instance, there are some females that believes that if a man truly loves you, he must beat you. That is a sign. You say, that's stupidity. Why would you ever think like that? There are some things you yourself do that might be as a result of that low self-esteem that we're also talking about. Let me give another example. Let's say when people cheat you, you just complain and say it's because you're not smart enough. Who told you that? It's just a sign of, it's a sign of low self-esteem. And another thing is, when you yourself, you're a bully to other people, you want to ride on other people, you want to take what does not belong to you, right? You are cheating people. It could also be a sign of low self-esteem. Sometimes, some people who are victims of low self-esteem end up hurting other people. In fact, most of the time end up hurting other people. Now, there are two categories of people. You see, myself, I'm that kind of person that, despite all that I was going through, I didn't know how to retaliate. But another category of people who experience the same thing I did will now be firing back. We'll be doing it back to back for people, right? We'll be hurting people, we'll be abusive, we'll be doing all of those negative things that actually led to ease our own low self-esteem. And this is dangerous. This is very bad, and those are examples of that. I remember when I was in school, secondary school back then, you see students saying, oh, your head is too big, like they'll be abusing themselves. Your head is too big, your nose is so big. Are you sure it's God that created this mouth like this? This is your mouth that looks like that of a lizard. Oh, this, they just say things anyhow without considering that emotions, everyone has an emotion running, in their body. So how do you expect such person to actually handle the situation or handle the statement you just threw? That what do you even stand to gain at the end of the day? So, and because of that, I just naturally lost trust in people. And another thing is, at the early stage of my life, I said that I was a victim of bullying, verbal abuse, and so many other things like that. So because of that, I didn't trust anybody again. I didn't trust. Trust was completely far off. I only trusted myself, because I know that I have a good heart. Because despite all I was going through, I still did not want to transfer it to somebody else. I knew I had a good heart, so I trusted myself and myself alone. I didn't trust anybody else again. And obviously, I was not even opening up to anybody. So this was why I was always lonely. I felt like the only safest place to be is to be alone, to be in my shell. And I didn't like, again, if as children, there are times whereby you do what is wrong and you offend your parents and they correct you. But I didn't like spanking, so I was also avoiding spankings. And if you want to correct me, say it once or twice, I've heard you. But anything that makes you to begin to report me to people, oh goodness, you report me to this one, report me to that one, I don't like it. Like, I feel like you are hurting. In fact, it's not a matter of I feel like you are actually hurting me. What happens at that point is you begin to raise the emotions of pain and low self-esteem again, and I get back to the point of depression and I start all over again. So that was another thing that made me always lonely. So I had lack of trust in anybody but myself. Okay, then another thing I would say is that made me always lonely, always to myself, is I felt that's the best way I could protect myself from abuses, protect myself from evil conversations, protect myself from unnecessary. Let me even give you this story. The very first day I tried to interfere in a conversation, it was in secondary school. I can't remember the precise class. I think SS2 or SS1, I'm not sure. But I was like, let me even summon up courage. So I actually summoned courage and I joined this group of my friends that were talking, and then I was there. I can't remember the scenario again. I think it was sports and everybody was downstairs having sports and these ladies were upstairs. I cannot even place how it happened or why we were just alone where we were. I don't know if it was even the classroom we were alone in or in the playground. I can't remember, but I know I don't go out to play, so I can't really place it. But all I know is that I joined these ladies. They are women now, but then they were girls. So I joined these girls and I realized that what they were saying was they were gossiping. They were talking about somebody else. And I'm like, but this is bad. It was strange to me saying that somebody who is the person that was reporting so to another. Let me attach name. So let's say we have A, we have B, we have C. Now A A, B, C, or maybe A, B, C, I can't remember, but let's say the most important characters here are A, B, and C. So A and C, right? Okay, A and D, yes, A and D are very good friends. In fact, it is A, B, and D that are very good friends. Like in the classroom, A, B, and D are very good friends, but C is also part of that conversation, but D is not there. Now A was now gossiping, was now talking ill of D to B and C. Do you get the trick now? So, and I was surprised that is this what friendships do? And I was so irritated by what they were saying. I did not contribute anything. I did not say anything, right? And I was just listening. I was just listening to the conversation. And at some point, A now said, Mary, what would you have to say about this? And I said, I don't know that, I don't really know. I don't know. So that was all I can't remember. I did not have anything tangible to say. So, and then that was it. I now actually went to go and meet C. Went to go and meet D rather. D, D is the one that they were gossiping. I went to go and meet D, and I said, this your friend too. This your friend A and B. Did you offend them because they are not happy with you, and because I met them talking about you? I do not know that they don't used to say things like that. Because like I mentioned, I don't used to mix up. So just normal, hi, just classroom talks, but I didn't have any close relationship with anybody all through my primary and secondary school level. So I didn't know they don't say such a thing. Then that was how that one I say, so what that means is that one was like, where exactly are they? Why would they be gossiping about me? I'm not like, what is this one? I just told you something jejely. Like, I did not even expect that reaction. I didn't expect that she was going to flare up. I was like, hey, I am in soup. Being that I know that naturally I'm always wanting to be on my own because I don't have the strength for wahala. Now this, I was like, hey, Oluwa motiwele, So like what that means is, God, I've entered this one already. Just save me. So when I just suddenly, I think that same day or the next day, I can't even remember, I just said, Mary, we want to see you. My heart started doing boom. For my friends, my classmates. My heart started doing boom. That is the level of even till now, I don't know how to confront. I hate confrontations with badly. Like when they say, okay, that's why I don't want anybody to accuse me falsely. Don't accuse me wrongly for what I did not do. I try as much as possible to stay out of your business, and that's why even till now, I'm still more to myself. I hardly interfere in conversations that does not concern me because of that foundation. Okay, so that's experience. Now they now called me to their midst. They now said, how dare you take what we said to go and meet our friend? It does not become our friend. Bam. So they want to use me to settle scores. So he now said, how dare you do that, blah 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 blah. So they just said a lot of things, and he now said, well, you guys were not happy with her, and I felt like you do not know how to tell her. And so I just started to tell her, and I said, can you imagine this idiot? Like, one of them just stood up and was just calling me all sort of names. I was so embarrassed. and it was in the whole class. God, it was as if the grass should just open up and swallow me, because I can't even defend myself. So he was just saying all sort of things, and I was, God, I felt so bad. And the next thing she just said is, now I want to ask you just one question. You that she came to report to, please listen to this. That's B was it? No, A is the baby one, right? So A now was speaking to D. D is the one they were gossiping. So A now told D that, now listen to this, so for you to know if she was part of the gossip or not. Because if she was part of the gossip, then she does not have that right. Then we need to deal with her because she actually gossiped about you. Can you imagine that? They wanted to point on me. I said, did you say anything during the conversation? Yes or no?